What's up YouTube? It's Ghostwriter15 here, back at it again with another Edison format video. And today's video is going to be part 2 of the replay reviews of my tournament experience. This time we're going to be doing Peak of the Beak. So let me show you the deck list that I used for the Peak of the Beak tournament. The main deck is exactly the same as the Deck Devastators tournament. The difference is in the side deck. I didn't play the DD Crows and the Noblemen. Instead, I played the Clear Vice, the MST, and the Mirror Force. So yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into the replays. So this is my round 3 match against Betchy21. So he wins the RPS, he's going to go first. My hand is Double Red Eyes, Reckless Greed, Cards of Consonance, and Trade-In. Not the best hand, but there is a good chance that the Reckless Greed on top of the 6th card that I draw is going to help me out. So he starts off with Card Trooper, and he mills Caius, Gores, and Dad. 3 boss monsters, which is exactly what I want to see. I'm still not 100% sure what he's playing. It could be Diva Hero, but there's also a high chance that it's Value Turbo. So I draw my 6th card, and it's Flamvell Guard, which is nice because now Cards of Consonance is live, and my engine gets to start doing things. But unfortunately, he has the Trap Dust Shoot, and he sends the Flamvell Guard away, which is correct. So now the only thing I can do is set Reckless and pass. He mills 3. This time he mills Plague, which is good for him, bad for me. So he summons Gale, and now I can tell that this is Value Turbo. So I take them both. I draw into Whitestone, which is amazing here because now not only Cards of Consonance is live, but Trade-In as well. So after this, I end up drawing into Cards of Consonance, Magical Stone Excavation, and I have Rejuve as well. I have 3 Red Eyes, but the only problem is I don't have a small dragon to be able to summon them. So here I think really hard, and I decide that I'm going to activate the Rejuve, and I'm going to get back Trade-In because I need to see a small dragon. I'm only at 4,800, and if I don't summon a Red Eyes now and apply pressure, there's a chance that I can just end up losing next turn. So I use a Trade-In. I draw into Double Debris Dragon, which is great here because I can use one for Cards of Consonance and the other to summon Red Eyes. So now I draw Instant Fusion, which can help me out if the Debris Dragon doesn't go through. And here he activates Judgment on the Debris. I think that was a misplay on his part because I only have 1 Red Eyes left, and two of them are already in the graveyard. So if you're afraid of Red Eyes, you can just Solemn Judgment the Red Eyes. But, you know, we take those. here I'm just thinking on what I want to do. I just use the Avers first just to draw two more and give myself more options potentially. So I draw into cards of consonants and trade in. They don't do much here. So I just go ahead and activate the instant fusion, special summon red eyes. Red eyes effect bring out blue eyes, and just attack with both. So the good thing here is that he's only at 400 now, so I don't lose to brain control anymore. I just said everything because I'm going to be drawing, I believe, 6 cards for Rejuve, and another 6 cards, and then another 6 cards. So, yeah, if anyone's wondering why Dragon Turbo is considered like an S tier deck, I think this is the reason why. Rejuve is just one of the most broken spells in the format. It's up there with Future Fusion and Black Whirlwind, in my opinion. So here, he just sets one monster, one back row passes. That's exactly what I want to see. And now I draw into Heavy Storm, so this game's pretty much over. I just go into my standard Bryonic play to guarantee game because I'm going to be special summoning Quackimiro Drago, and Gores and Tragodia don't do anything. So on to game 2. My hand is really nice. I have Cards of Consonance, Card Destruction, Super Rejuve, White Stone, and Torrential Tribute. I really like the Torrential Tribute on the side because people don't respect it. People don't think it's there. They always assume it's just a spell that's not going to do anything, but Torrential's amazing in the side deck. So he sets one, sets a back row passes. I draw into a second copy of Cards of Consonance, and I use one of them. I draw into Debris and Upstart, which is great because now my other consonants is live. So I just keep drawing more cards, just keep it going. So here I decide to summon the Breeze Dragon, special summon Whitestone, because I want to go into Brio. He asked me for Prio, but remember that Whitestone is a mandatory effect, so priority cannot be activated here. I just discard, attack, attack. If he has Gores, then I just use Brio to bounce back. So here, I'm just gonna discard Blue Eyes to add the Breeze Dragon to my hand, and then discard the Breeze Dragon so I can draw even more cards. I could have used the card destruction and gone with that play instead, but I like this line better here because he has so many cards in his hand that he didn't do anything with, and that can potentially be cards like Necro Gardna, Plague Spreader, Vayu, Sirocco, you know? So I'd rather just Brio to fill up the Super Rejuvenation count instead of going with card destruction because it's a lot safer in this situation. And I draw into another Rejuve, so I didn't have to use the card D this turn to draw so many cards. So here he goes, Armageddonite, sends Plague. He's getting really aggressive right now. He's going Goyo, and here I think, and just use the Torrential because I don't want him taking my Brio. He sets 3, and I'm totally fine with that because I have Giant Trunade. I'm not worried about Solemn Judgment. I'm not worried about Starlight Road because suppose it is Judgment, I can just use Stone Excavation, get it back. So I'm not worried at all. I basically have game here. I use the Avarice because if you notice, I don't have Quackimiro Drago in my graveyard. The only way I don't have game here is if he has Gores or Tragodia. And I'm using the Avarice just to try to give myself a chance to draw into it. And luckily for me, that's exactly what happens. I draw into the Drago. And the really nice thing about having the Drago in the hand opposed to the graveyard is that now you don't lose to DD Crow because you're special summoning it from the hand. So I make Brio, or not Brio, Black Rose, and then use Instant Fusion, Special Darkfire, Special Red Eyes, and now Special Drago for guaranteed lethal. Alright, so let's check out, I believe this was the top 8 match of Peak of the Beak. I'm playing against Leo Baca. He's on Frogs. Plant Frogs to be specific. So here I win the RPS. I'm going to be going first. My hand is Debris Dragon, Red Eyes, Stone Excavation, Trade-In, Vortex Trooper, and Blue Eyes. Pretty decent hand. I'm able to discard Blue Eyes, draw 2, and then Vortex Trooper can potentially get me even more cards. So this is really nice. Now I'm forced to use Vortex Trooper because the rest of the hand doesn't really do much. Here I send back Red Eyes and I send back Stone Excavation. The reason I send those two back is because right now Red Eyes isn't doing much. Like, I don't need to summon it turn 1. And Stone Excavation has a very heavy discard cost. So I don't need 2 in my hand at the moment. Also, the reason I keep Blue Eyes and Debris is because both of them are discard fodders for trade-in and Cards of Consonance, which I can potentially draw into. And I do draw into the trade-in, so it ends up working out. Draw 2. Draw with Upstart. And here I'm just going to be drawing so many cards. This is the power of Dragon Turbo, the power of Super Rejuvenation in this deck. And all this happened thanks to Vortex Trooper, which is, in my opinion, a lot better than Card Trooper in this deck. Yeah, I'm basically going to see my entire deck. So I keep these 6 because I think these are the best ones to put me in a position to OTK for the following turn. He sets 3, passes it back to me. Here, I activate the Cards of Consonance to dig into more cards. I activate the Heavy. He chains Karma Cut, which isn't a card I'm used to seeing in Edison format. But it is a good card. I activate Avarice to see more cards. Here, I forget to banish the second copy of Trooper, but he reminds me. Alright, so at this point, I have guaranteed game because I have double red eyes along with instant fusion and debris dragon. That is over 9,000. On to game 2. So this hand is pretty good. Not the best, but it does have cards of consonance along with white stone, which is something you always want to see. Here he goes Lone Fire into Titanial. And I draw into Rejuve, so this looks really good here. Because if I draw another discard card, Rejuve is going to go crazy again. And I do draw into 2 cards that discard dragons, so this Rejuve is going to be insane. So I sided in Prime Material because something I noticed is he's playing a lot of trap cards. A lot more than the usual standard frog list. And I just wanted something that helps against that. And Prime Material is really strong against cards like Regeki Break. So I draw into Red Eyes and my side deck copy of Mask Restrict, which I think is really, really good against frogs, especially because it puts them in an awkward situation where if they decide to keep Heavy Storm and I don't even draw the Restrict, then their Heavy Storm is going to be a dead card. And yeah, I just like that it forces them to use trap cards on this rather than my actual dragons. So here he goes Regeki Break because he knows that Red Eyes is coming. I activate Stone Excavation, and here I get hit with DD Crow, which is actually fine with me because this Rejuve is still going to draw me 5 cards. This DD Crow is not doing a lot in this situation. Like, don't get me wrong, there are times when DD Crow on Stone Excavation hurts a lot, but this is definitely not one of them. See, like, I just drew 10 cards, and basically DD Crow didn't do anything. So here I just shotgun the Mask Restrict, just in case he wants to tribute for like Ryza or Caius. I don't want my Mask Restrict getting banished or going back to the top. I draw into Future Fusion, which isn't that great now. I have so many dragons in my graveyard, so I'm not really going to gain advantage from it. Here he hits me with Mind Crush, and unlike the DD Crow, the Mind Crush actually hurt because this was going to basically make it so it's game over. But the Mind Crush basically ended all that. But it's fine because I still have ways to kill this Titanial. I decided to go with the Catastor play because Catastor doesn't target, So that's a easy way to get rid of Titanial. Here he goes to rental. And I think really hard here. I have to check my graveyard because I do want to use this Future Fusion to bring out Five-Headed Dragon, but I am running low on monsters, dragon monsters, and I, I checked the graveyard and I realized that I only have 5 dragons left. So if I use the Future Fusion, I'm gonna lose every single monster left that's in my deck. But I do have Pot of Avarice. But Leo Baca is playing multiple copies of DD Crow in his deck. So if he does hit me with the Crow on the Avarice, I am in trouble because I'm basically relying on Five-Headed Dragon to win me the game. But I decide that it's worth the risk. He only has 1 card in hand anyway, so I decided to just do it. He only sets 1, passes. I draw into Card Destruction, which can dig me into Pot of Avarice, but seeing that I still have 9 cards left in deck, there's not a high chance that I'm going to draw into it. So I think it's fine to just wait. Because I have Master Restrict plus Future Fusion with a 5-headed dragon coming out next turn. I don't think I'm going to lose unless he finds a way to like get rid of Restrict. So I just go ahead and pass turn. I draw heavy, which is not good here because I don't want to get rid of these cards. 5-headed comes out. He goes Regeki Break immediately, which I understand. So I just pass. So here comes Swap Frog. He's going to start applying pressure here. Or at least I thought he was. I guess he's afraid of Tragodia coming down. And here I draw Super Rejuvenation, which is not good. I only have 7 cards left. At this point, I feel that I should use the Card Destruction because I'm going to be drawing 4 cards with Card D. And now there's a really good chance that I'll draw into Avarice. I end up discarding a DD Crow from his hand, which is perfect. Now I don't have to worry about my Avarice getting hit. So I use the Avarice. I shuffle back 3 Red Eyes and 2 Debris Dragons because I want to be able to OTK him. I draw into double Debris, but I have the Cards of Consonance to give myself another chance to draw Red Eyes. And I draw into the Red Eyes, and I realize after thinking for a while, I can potentially go for game. So here, I start off by going Debris Dragon, special summoning Whitestone, and then I summon Red Eyes. I bring out Prime Material, so I can go Trident Dragion. He's at 9,000. This is going to be a lot more than 9,000 damage because I have Red Eyes as well. It'll be 11,800. So I basically can't use Lightning Vortex as one of the cards I pop for Trident Dragion because if he has Gores in hand, I need that Lightning Vortex to make sure that I survive the next turn. So it's definitely not going to be the Vortex that gets popped. It's going to be the Trade-In and the Mask Restrict. Now I just attack. And that's GG because both attacks go through. Alright, so On to the grand finals of Peak of the Beak. So he wins the RPS. My hand is Debris, Trade-in, Instant Fusion, Avarice, and Blue Eyes. Uh, Not the best hand, but it could be a lot worse. Avarice isn't a card you want to start with, which is the reason that I only play one Avarice. Avarice is really, really bad to start off with. It's only great turn one if you have like Future Fusion or card destruction. But other than that, you don't want to see it. He starts off with a quest set of back row. I draw into Rejuve, which is pretty good. Here, I have a decision to make. I can go Vortex Trooper, shuffle back Avarice, and like Instant Fusion to try to draw into more discard cards to make Rejuve even stronger. Or I can just Heavy Storm, summon Debris Dragon, Instant Fusion, make Black Rose, and attack. I decide that I should go with the Black Rose play because against Gladiator Beast, you don't want to leave your field open. They just do a lot of dumb stuff if you let them attack. So I draw one, I draw Stone Excavation and pass turn. He goes Prisma, and unfortunately for me, he has Test Tiger. That is exactly what I did not want to see, because that lets him basically cheat out his Gladiator Beast effects. And the one way I can actually protect myself in this matchup from Gladiator Beast effects is making big monsters right away. But Test Tiger basically says no to that. And now I'm in trouble right away. Gazaris pop, attack, tag out, special summon 2. It is not looking good at all. And here, I know what's coming. He's going to make probably one of the most unfair cards in Edison format, in my opinion. I know most won't agree, but I think Heraclinos is a very, very dumb card. Very, very strong. Like, there's no other card in this format that just negates spells and traps at will. And this is basically the reason why Gladiator Beast is the worst matchup for Dragon Turbo. Like, it's basically the whole way the deck is designed to work is anti-Dragon Turbo. I can't do much. All I have to do is hope that he can't kill me. And another reason why this is anti-Dragon Turbo is, and every time he attacks, he can just go Bestiary pop and force me to use Reckless Greed on his turn. But it's not even going to matter because he has Heraclinos. He's going to negate. He sets one, passes. Activate Avarice. He negates. And now I'm going to use Stone Excavation to get back Avarice. White Stone's going to get me Blue Eyes. And now my only hope of winning this game is using Avarice to recycle back Black Girl's Dragon, Debris Dragon, and just leave the Vortex Trooper so I can potentially draw back the Debris Dragon and go Black Rose to nuke the field. That's like literally my only hope to winning this game. But it doesn't happen, so yeah, this game is toast. So here, I have one more chance of getting the Breeze Dragon to nuke the board, but another reason why Gladiator Beast is anti-Dragon Turbo is because it has the ability to not let me do that by banishing the Trooper. Like, this is probably one of the most lopsided matches in the entire format. Alright, so on to game 2. My hand is not good at all. I have Flamvell Guard, Debris, Instant Fusion, Stone Excavation, White Stone, and Blue Eyes. I think about it for a while, and the best play here is just make Stardust. Ancient Fairy effect. That's basically the best thing I can do. Which isn't the worst, because Stardust is really strong against Gladiator Beasts. But if this thing dies, the game's over. Okay, so we go Stratos. So that's 1. And I draw into Red Eyes, which is great. So here I end up making a misplay that ends up costing me this game. So I end up using Red Eyes to special summon Ancient Fairy, which doesn't really look like a misplay on paper, but when you actually think about it, Ancient Fairy only has 2100 attack. So if the Gladiator Beast player is able to make Gazaris and run it over, then I'm in trouble. So the better play would have been to special summon Blue Eyes instead. He banishes my Red Eyes with Deep Prison. I just attack and pass turn. He only sets 3, passes it back. And I draw into a dead Blue Eyes, which is terrible here. I don't have anything I can really do. My only spell in Graveyard is Instant Fusion, which isn't going to do anything here. So I just attack, hoping for the best. He's at 27 now. And here is when the misplay of special summoning Ancient Fairy instead of Blue Eyes is going to cost me the game. So Test Tiger, of course, he's going to go for Gazaris. So here, if I would have had Blue Eyes instead, this Gazaris doesn't do anything. But because of my misplay, I am now in trouble. Here comes Heraclinos. So I draw into Cardi, which I'm expecting him to negate. But he doesn't negate it. For some reason, he doesn't negate it, which I'm perfectly fine with. So I draw into Raiko and set it. That is an out to Heraclinos, thankfully. But it might be too little too late. He runs over Stardust. And now I have to pop that Heraclinos. He's just going to go Equest to get a +1. Sets 3 back rows, and I am in big trouble. No, I have no Giant Trunade, no Heavy Storm, no Red Eyes, no nothing. And now I don't even have Reckless Greed to try to save me for the next turn. So this is looking very, very bad. Double Equest comes down and attacks with both. And now he's just going to bring back Heraclinos and basically end the game at this point. So, yeah, that misplay of summoning Ancient Fairy over Blue Eyes definitely cost me the game. You never know what could have happened in Game 3. But it is what it is. It happens. We just gotta learn from our misplays. So, yeah. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. This is Ghost Rider 15 signing out.